Sierra has all the best active and outdoor brands you need. From athletic stuff, like a full-court pickup game, swish, to athlete-ish stuff, like a half-mile stroll. Get those steps in. And for morning hikes up the mountain trail, good pace. To nighttime ghost stories from the camping chair. What a twist. Whatever level of active, Sierra loves it all. Head to Sierra or Sierra.com for the brands you want at the prices that let you do it all. From athletic to athlete-ish, Sierra's got it.
Monster Energy. Everybody knows White Monster, Zero Ultra. That's the OG. It kicked off this whole zero sugar energy drink thing. But Ultra is a whole lineup now. You've got Strawberry Dreams, Blue Hawaiian, Sunrise, and Vice Guava. And they all bring the Monster Energy punch. So if you've been living in the white can, branch out. Ultra's got a flavor for every vibe. And every single one is zero sugar. Tap the banner to learn more.
We work hard to strike the right amount of intelligence and ignorance. The Last Show with David Cooper.
Eric Dane, the actor, probably best known for his roles in Grey's Anatomy and the show Euphoria, has sadly died. And we are going to discuss his appearance in Netflix's famous Last Word series here with Caitlin Green, a media personality and co-host of the Jan Arden podcast. Caitlin, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
This Netflix series, Famous Last Words, this is the second installation of it. I haven't seen them, actually. You have. Walk me through the premise of this series. I believe it's kind of like a Danish idea before Netflix snarfed it for the English audience.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a Danish format, and I think the translation from the show from Denmark was like The Last Word, something to that effect. But basically what it is people who I think might feel that they are towards the end of their life will sit down and record their last words. So Jane Goodall did this. Now, whether or not she was aware of the fact that she would pass on, she was obviously older. And so she recorded an episode of the US version for Netflix. And then the most recent one is Eric Dane, who'd been struggling with ALS for quite some time. So he clearly knew that this was going to happen at some point. And the idea is that these sort of celebrities and public figures record this, and then after they pass, the episode releases like very quickly. It's the same way that you'll notice a lot of media outlets will immediately have like an obit for a celebrity. They have it all pre-written. It's kind of like that, but it's like a lot more touching and heartfelt. And so Eric Dane's was released over the weekend. It immediately goes viral, and predominantly he is recording it for his two daughters. And that's why it's really, really poignant and heartfelt. And he has ALS, but I believe he recorded this a year before his passing, perhaps, just maybe under a year. So I had watched it, and I remarked to my husband that I thought he looked fabulous. I mean, he's an incredibly handsome actor, but he's obviously struggling and unwell and like not communicating in exactly the same cadence he might normally. But he is very clear-minded, and it was powerful. And I thought that he just seemed. I was like, oh, this is how I would, if I was him, like want your kids to remember you. And he gives them sort of 5, I think it was 3 or 5 things to live by. And one thing that he said was he really wants them to fight. He wants his 2 daughters to fight. He talks about how much he's fought with this illness, how happy he still is in spite of being very sick, and that he felt like he had been knocked down many times in life and he continued to get up. And that was his superpower, was his resilience. And I was like, man, every single person could hear this message right now and take something from it.
It's kind of a remix of it's not the destination, it's the journey, but framing it like the journey involves a fight and the fight gives life meaning. Is that kind of what he was saying?
Kind of, and just really that, like, you know, everything in life is not going to always be easy. You may have disappointments in your personal life. He was divorced. You may have disappointments in your professional life. I think every actor in Hollywood has no shortage of those. You may receive a devastating diagnosis like he did when he was told he had ALS. But I think the fact that he said, you know, I still love my life. I'm a happy person and I want you guys to be happy. Like, that's such a nice gift to give to your kids at a very sad time in their lives and this sort of troubling transition. And I just thought this might be a rare moment where television is doing something good for humanity. Not everyone's going to want to watch this. It's obviously kind of somber and touching, and you may not want to go there. You may just want to watch another episode of The Office, which is also understandable. But I liked this, and I thought this is a nice little something they're doing. They stole the right content from Denmark with this one.
And the Swedes have their death cleaning, where they clean up their homes before they die so that they pass on to their loved ones in a state where the papers are in order and there's not mess and you got to deal with your clutter and junk. And now the Danes have this record a message before you die to speak to the people you love after you die. You get these nice kind of like death narratives from the Nordic countries, which I kind of like, I got to say.
It's true. And we really avoid death a lot. And I certainly understand why. But when you realize that it is this inevitable part of your life, ironically, that you will be touched by, you will lose people you love, you will lose things, you will experience grief. I think avoiding it altogether makes us all the more ill-equipped to deal with it in the first place. And so having these living obituaries from these pretty cool people, I really enjoy what they're doing.
I wonder, Netflix is pretty tight-lipped. Like, did they say this was coming out or Eric Dane just sadly passed and then they released it a few days later?
Exactly. Yep. I think that's what happened. And I don't know that anyone other than Brad Falchuk, the creator of this version of the show, knows who else is going to be coming up. But I think that he's working pretty hard. And he's married to Gwyneth Paltrow, and he is, by all accounts, he's a big name in Hollywood, big producer. And everyone says that he is like this kind, magic, rare person who everybody loves. And that's why he's so particularly well equipped to make this type of show.
And yet he married Gwyneth Paltrow.
Hey, I will not tolerate Gwyneth slander in my presence.
Hey, I said nothing. I love
her.
She is Gwyneth Paltrow. No, I do wonder who's in the back catalog.
Yeah.
It's kind of a morbid speculation, but like, I imagine if any celebrity has terminal illness, they could be potentially in this show.
Would you record one of these, do you think, if you were an older celebrity?
A part of me's like, no, because I'd be worried I wouldn't do a good job. But yes, I would. Yeah, why not? As a gift to like Miranda, my girlfriend, and the people the person I leave. And my cat, I would want my cat to see it.
I think it's a great idea. I really like it.
I really hope in my obituary, if I go like he leaves behind Miranda and Cat Tomato. I hope my parents put that in there. I guess Miranda would put it in there. Who writes an obituary? I don't even know.
I do think the family probably has something to do with it, but a lot of media outlets, like it is just like a staff writer who does it.
You mentioned that getting old and dying is something you understand that people are uncomfortable with, but you think this show was a good idea. Another milestone you wrote to me that made you feel old, Toy Story 5.
Yes. Speaking of mortality, I did not think I was going to get a mortality check care of Toy Story, but I did because they released a trailer for Toy Story 5.
I was like, I think 8 or 9 when Toy Story, the first one, came out. You were maybe a couple years older than me, something like that.
Yeah, and it was just absolutely devastating to realize that they know their fans who grew up watching this as kids are now older and have kids themselves. And so the Toy Story 5 arrives on June 19th, and the rough premise is that Woody and Jessie get passed over for 8-year-old Bonnie's new electronic tablet called a lily pad.
Oh, wow. The 8-year-old's an iPad kid and doesn't want her toys, Woody, and okay, all right.
Exactly. And so now Woody has a bald spot under his hat.
Oh, no.
Under his cowboy hat, there's a bald spot.
Didn't anyone tell Woody about Propecia or getting plugs? Like, come on.
No, he hasn't yet hopped aboard a flight to Turkey. But I just thought, I was like, why are we giving body horror to a doll? I don't know that I wanted this. But anyways, we did get the mortality check. It is Pixar is so good at doing the kind of like wink and nod and intelligent story that parents appreciate when they're watching it with their kids. So I do think that they're continuing with that format. But oh my God, the jump scare I did when I saw the photos of Woody's bald spot going around social media this weekend, I wasn't prepared.
The toys are aging with us, Caitlin. It is not a good feeling.
It's horrible.
It's wild that like we were the what is the age group from like 5 to 12? What do you call that age group? I don't even know.
I guess it's like young. It feels still like childhood a bit.
All right, but we were kids, and now we're. I mean, I don't have a kid, but I'm old enough to have a couple. I'm almost 40.
Yeah.
It's weird that we grow up with these movies. Do kids still love these films? Like, do they still perform amazingly well? Everyone.
Adore. I grew up watching, again, being a bit older when I watched Toy Story, but I still liked it. And now my son has a Buzz Lightyear in his room. He watches Toy Story. He loves Woody. He knows Woody. And it's really familiar. And like my son even loves Disney shows that were old when I was very young. He loves The Jungle Book from like 1964. He loves Peter Pan. I have to fast forward through a lot of the like racially insensitive parts now.
Oh, no.
But anyways, it's still like these things are timeless. Am I back?
You are back here with Caitlin Green. You're not supposed to talk. It is media news, pop culture news.
Sure.
Caitlin Green's a media personality. She co-hosts the Jan Arden podcast. Let's talk about this movie, Wuthering Heights. I didn't read the book as a kid, but many people did. Many people love this book. Did you read it?
I did, but I don't remember much of it because I was forced to read it for an assignment, and I had to read through, like I go through chunks, and it was very laborious for me because it's quite wordy, and I'm not a wordy reader. I'm more parsed back on the, Hemingway side of things than I would be to like the flowery language of Wuthering Heights. Plus, spoiler alert, it's a huge bummer. The content of this book and the movie is incredibly depressing.
Yeah, but it's sexy, it's swoony, it's romantic. I mean, like it's a fun book, but it's a dark book.
Yeah, it's a dark, sexy book for sure, and they've cast the two sexiest people on the face of the planet to star in the film. And so it had a lot of fanfare. It was very buzzy. The release was very buzzy, but the question is, was all of that buzz authentic?
Well, Margot Robbie, if you just woke up under a rock, star of the Barbie movie. For me, she's like not that hot because she's too perfect. She's like, there's nothing, you need something, you gotta have something wrong with you to be hot. It's the same reason I don't really like the Beatles. They're too perfect of a band. Like I like the Rolling Stones. Like they're off tempo, they're off key, they're gritty. Who knows if Keith Richards is even going to show up to a gig. Like I like, things need to have blemishes in order to have great beauty. And she's too perfect, Margot Robbie.
Counterpoint, no.
You like David the statue, you like that kind of level of perfection is what you're saying.
I mean, I just know that like I like Margot Robbie. If I had to switch teams, it's Margot Robbie like for life, 10 toes down. That's one of the hottest people I've ever seen in my entire life. When I saw her in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I was like, it's confusing to me how good looking this person is on screen. I can't find a fault. She's absolutely stunning.
That's the problem.
But she's intelligent though too, right?
Yes.
Like she has this movie production company, and she's also like sort of low profile with her like not famous regular husband and their life in Australia. Like I can't find a thing to dislike.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's precisely why I don't like her that much. I need faults. I need, give me something to work with here,
Yeah, that's okay. And I mean, Jacob Elordi now, like really the hottest man in Hollywood, apparently rumored that he's going to be the next James Bond, that he was offered the role and he's accepted it. Again, not confirmed, but very conjecture.
You mentioned switching teams. You now mentioned James Bond. Daniel Craig, young Daniel Craig would be my switching teams, especially Bond era.
I saw him and his wife on vacation several times with their family in person.
Jealous.
That's a good looking man. That's a very good looking man and a very good looking woman. She's very fun and she seems like a good time. They seem very happy. So I like that. I co-sign this.
Let's get back on track. Warner Brothers, this is like a media insider report, so I'll just add the word allegedly so they don't sue us. But Warner Brothers did something a little strange to promote this movie. It's the kind of thing that like seems like a good idea until people find out about it, and then it makes them like you less.
Yeah, I agree with this, but I also don't think that what they're doing is like anything unusual in the world of movies in 2026.
They just got caught.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, well, you buried the lead. What is it?
Sorry, so they paid more than 2,000 influencers, allegedly, to post nice things about the movie. So they're paying for, fake organic reviews. And so what I guess they did is that they preempted negative remarks by screening audiences because they were worried from their test audiences that this wasn't going to land well. So they'll give media access to screeners. They'll give media access to like advanced showings. I've been to a bunch of them. And so they decided they're going to invite influencers to do this. But when you pay them to say it's good, that's a problem. It's one thing to tell a bunch of influencers, hey, come to this really cool advanced screening. There'll be swag. Maybe we'll have a cast member or a director will answer questions in an attempt to sway them, but to still level some authenticity to their reviews. If you're just going to pay them to watch it and say they liked it, it's a different thing altogether.
But you think allegedly, most big, media studios and stuff like this are doing that already?
Doesn't surprise me in the slightest. I just don't appreciate like not saying it on its face. You should probably, if you're going to have people do posts, they should have to put that it's sponsored. They should have to put a hashtag that it's SpawnCon. And I think, I think even just having people see that they like it, even if they mark that it's paid, I still think that would have had a positive impact for the movie. So if this is in fact true, I think they went about it the wrong way.
So I like Charlie XCX. No shade on Charlie. Charlie did the music for this video. However, there is my dream woman, the best musician who ever lived, perhaps, Kate Bush. She has a track called Wuthering Heights, which is an amazing track. And she wrote it at 19. It's got these crazy like key changes, wonderful instrumentation. Like it's a complex, for pop music, it is just a wildly complex and amazing track. Her singing is amazing and has a huge vocal range. How she produced this track at 19, I will never know. I'm just saying, I don't know how she wrote this song. Anyway, that track should be in the movies, if only just, it should be in the movie, if only just played over the credits. Like, where was this track? Why wasn't this track in the movie? When I think Wuthering Heights, I think this track before I even think the book.
I think that they probably just wanted to be able to say, if I had to guess, that the whole soundtrack is Charlie XCX, because this is a very trendy movie. And so maybe they didn't quite tap into the perfection of Wuthering Heights as you saw it as the song.
Anyone who's heard this song has to agree with me.
I've never heard it. And I'm going to go listen.
I'm jealous for your future new experience.
It's like when someone tells me they've never seen The Sopranos. I'm like jealous that they get to watch it for the first time.
I feel that way about the sci-fi series, The Orville, but okay, never mind. Keep going.
Oh, keeping it niche. But I think that like Wuthering Heights is, it's just this sort of like composite of everything that is pop culture right now. It's directed by Emerald Fennell, who did Saltburn. She did Promising Young Woman. It stars Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie. It's got the soundtrack from Charlie XCX. So maybe they thought they were going to go sideways if they included Kate Bush, but she is cool. Like Running Up That Hill had a big resurgence thanks to Stranger Things. So it's not like she's a bit of an indie sleeper herself these days anyways. So I don't know. I'm going to go listen to that song and get back to you. Maybe they offered it to her. Maybe they couldn't afford her. She lives in a castle.
Yeah, she just like lives in a castle, doesn't make media appearances, doesn't tour really. I don't think she's like made a media appearance in the last 15 years. I think she like when this her song went viral about with Netflix, she just like wrote on her old school blog about it. When she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, she didn't even perform. I think St. Vincent performed her Running Up That Hill on her behalf. Like she just hangs out in her castle, So maybe she was like, I want a bigger check and you guys aren't giving it to me.
Or maybe they were like, we'll have this song on, but like you have to come to some of the red carpets. And she was like, I'm not leaving my castle, which fair enough.
Or you got to go to the studio with Charlie XCX and like kind of redo it, whatever. I don't know. We're speculating here, but yeah.
But it is fun to speculate. But yeah, I mean, the movie is getting kind of mid-level reviews. I haven't seen it yet. It's definitely something I would watch at home, but I wasn't prepared to be blown away because this might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't think Emerald Fennell is like the directing auteur that people believe she is. I think Saltburn was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
What? It was okay. Yeah. Come on. It was all right.
I was verging on unwatchable for me.
Really? What? Why? What didn't you like about it?
I thought it was stupid and it was a music video. Like, I think it would have made a great music video. I think she would make a great music video director because she can certainly like cast a mood and make things sexy and edgy. But I don't care about any of the characters. You
don't like 2 hours of vibe-based film. You want a little more substance there.
Precisely.
All right. Well, I thought it was a good vibe. It was fun, Saltburn. It was a little edgy, but I see what you're saying.
Oh, make him drink the bathwater. Like, also, too, Barry Keoghan, I'm sorry, but like, do not cast him as a sex object unless you have a very specific kink, because I don't buy it.
Caitlin Green, check her out on the Jan Arden podcast where she is co-host. Any if I were to look at the Jan Arden podcast catalog right now, anything that I should check out?
We recently had a really great conversation with a therapist named Kate Robson, who just wrote a book. It's kind of like a mental health handbook on how to get through stressful times. But the foreword, the intro, was written by her great friend, director Sarah Pauly. And the two of them appeared on the show together, and they were just so fabulous. It was such a good conversation. So I think you should check that out.
I certainly will, as long as you listen to Wuthering Heights by Kate Bush.
I'm doing it right now, the second we get off.
All right, Caitlin Green, media personality. Caitlin, thank you for being here.
No problem.
Firefighters risk their lives every single day.
Fridays on Global.
We're gonna get you out of here, bud.
This is the greatest job in the world.
An all-new Fire Country.
Firefighter Leone, I need you to make your own risk assessment.
We're going in.
Deep in the woods behind you, there's a wildfire. We're in the game now, boys!
TV's hottest show.
It's up. Be safe.
Keeps getting hotter.
Will you help?
Happy to.
Fire Country, all new Fridays at 9 Eastern on Global. Stream on Stack TV.